So up until I was 24 years old, I was your below average loser. I was severely out of shape, didn't have any confidence, and ultimately I was depressed and from time to time dealt with suicidal ideation. But within the last 3.5 years, I completely changed that. And now, you're probably wondering how I got to this point. Well, there was a lot of lessons that I have learned along my journey, and I wish somebody had fucking told me when I was a below average loser. So in today's video, I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys the 2 pieces of advice that I wish somebody had given me when I was a below average fucking loser. And this isn't going to be your typical advice that you probably have seen other guys make videos on. This is actual advice that has honestly contributed a lot to me making a lot of fucking progress in the last 1.5 years of this 3.5 year and ever continuing journey of me bettering myself and becoming ultimately the best version of myself how I see fit. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's dive into the first thing that I wish somebody had told me. So the first thing that I wish somebody had told me was to take care of myself, but ultimately have more self-respect for myself and ultimately have respect for myself to walk away from things and people that A, no longer served me, and B, didn't ultimately have my best interest at heart and didn't ultimately challenge me to become a better person and man. Because I was around a lot of negativity and a lot of negative people. And those people, I realized, didn't hold themselves to a certain standard. And it wasn't until, and I've shared this in a video in the past, a buddy of mine really knocked some fucking sense into me, did I start to take my life more seriously, because I had hit rock bottom. And I was like, you know what? There's nowhere else I can go. The only way I can go is up, but more importantly, I don't know how to go up. So let me take bro's advice and see what happens. And ultimately now I've gotten to the point where I'm constantly bettering myself. I'm in great physical shape. I have great social skills. Confidence is ever growing. And ultimately I respect myself enough to walk away from people and things that no longer serve me or don't even try to help me or have my best interest at heart. And I think that's something that a lot of guys don't necessarily talk about enough, is if you want to get the respect, and I've noticed this become a trend nowadays, but a lot of us want to get respect from not only women, but from ultimately our peers and people, the people around us and the people we look up to. But it's like, bro, how can you get respect from other people if you can't even fucking respect yourself enough to take care of your physical shape, to keep up with your grooming to a certain degree? You don't have to get cuts and lineups every 2 fucking weeks, but just don't look fucking homeless. Like, how do you not respect yourself enough to stand up for yourself ultimately? Like, that's something I had a hard time doing for a majority of my life. I let a lot of people bully me and belittle me, but now I don't tolerate none of that bullshit. Like, a lot of my friends will tell you, bro, like, if somebody does some shit right then and there, I will fucking say something. Like, that's why I carry the reputation in my group of friends as being the most blunt motherfucker that they know, because I don't tolerate disrespect and I don't tolerate fuckery. So that's how you ultimately, to conclude that, you have to get the respect of other people. You have to first start respecting yourself. And I wish somebody had fucking told me that before I embarked on this journey, because I would have cut out a lot of people and a lot of things much sooner in this 3.5 year journey that I've been on thus far. The second and final thing that I wish somebody had told me when I was a below average loser, and this is one that needs to be talked about more and isn't talked about enough, and that is to have the ability to think for your fucking self, bro. Because I have noticed in today's post social media era, that a lot of people don't realize that a lot of what they're reading, consuming, and watching, those things are ultimately what is helping you formulate your morals, your beliefs, and your values, but more importantly, your behaviors in your day-to-day life. And the only way I was able to get to that other side where some other people are and being able to think for myself was through my dating life. Because before I got into dating, I consumed a lot of content, bro. A lot of red pill content, a lot of dating content, a lot of self-improvement content. And with that, I decided to purposely, this is one thing a lot of people underestimate about me, is I'm very calculated. I purposely decided to put a lot of these things that I would watch from these people into practice to see what would work and what didn't work. And it wasn't until I did that enough times and I garnered enough experience did I realize, I'm like, bro, I need to stop believing everything that I'm reading, consuming, and watching, because half of this shit doesn't fucking work and is not true. And this doesn't just go exclusively for dating. This goes for life in general. I was just able to break out of people instilling what they want to instill in me through my dating life. And with that, I'm now able to, across all the other areas of my life, to think for myself. And I now, whenever I read something, I watch something, or I consume something, I take it into consideration and I try to pick apart whatever it is that I saw, and I try to keep the stuff that I deem to be positive and useful and throw out the stuff that I deem to be negative and harmful. And I think that's where a lot of people, especially men, don't realize that they're doing, because unconsciously, like, you think you're thinking for yourself, but you're really not, because a lot of what you read, watch, and consume on a daily basis, not only does half of it not work, but half of it is fucking fake and it's not real, and definitely, I'm pretty sure, isn't what you want in your life, nor importantly, who you want to be to a certain degree, or you don't want to possess certain characteristics or traits of whatever it is that these people are telling you to possess. So, yeah. That's all I had to share in today's video. There's obviously like a lot that I could share, like a lot of advice I wish somebody had told me when I was a below average loser. But to me, I think these were the top two most important, but more importantly, not talked about enough things that I wanted to share in my video. And so with that said, bro, if you enjoyed this video or you found this video helpful, do me a favor and smash the like button for your boy. Drop a comment down below. Subscribe if you're new, because we're on the road to 2K. And last but not least, turn on my post notice bell so you stay up to date with this channel and you don't miss out on any of my future video uploads. I want to thank you for your continuous love and support, bro. And I'll catch you in my next video. Peace.